Hello and welcome to Stuart Gipp in Video World. I am Stuart Gipp, and I've been informed that in order to be successful on YouTube these days, you need to show your face. Well, fine, here I am. Satisfied? Coming up with the name Stuart Gipp in Video World was really hard. I seriously considered a fair few others. Check them out. I eventually chose The Stew Review, but then I was informed that googling The Stew Review brings up quite a lot of things about fleshlights. Anyway, on today's show, bobcats, buzzcuts, man cubs and Asgore. Let's kick off this regular feature with a look at one of the more well-known shitty fucking mascots. It's Bubsy the Bobcat. Gracing the SNES and Mega Drive like a house cat graces you with a massive poo in the carpet, Bubsy stuck around for a sequel that nobody played, a Jaguar sequel that less than nobody played, and a PS1 game infamous for its epoch-shattering crapness. Bubsy, in Claw's Encounters of the Fucking Hell I'm Not Saying That, takes the form of a confused halfway house between Mario's considered secret-packed gameplay and Sonic's running really fast not giving a shit thrill ride. As such, it's a confused and confusing experience, having you fling the noisy orange dickhead around the screen at Mach 3 and losing all your lives faster than you can Skinner. No, I'm not saying that either. The thing is, if you know me, you'll know I have a lot of time and patience for this sort of thing, and I feel strongly that Bubsy is this close to being an excellent game. This close. You can't actually see my thumb and index finger right now, but I have them held very close together. This close. Yes, Bubsy would be much more fondly remembered if they'd only copied Sonic just a bit more and ripped off the rings system wholesale. Then Bubsy could barrel through the stages like a freight train, taking hits but crucially not losing his momentum and consequently fun. You can't give the player the ability to move like a bullet, then stymie it constantly, not carve the stages around it. It simply doesn't work. Bobcat, more like Bobbins. The whole segment was just so I could say that, and having done so, I just feel as though it wasn't worth it. This week's frog is Pogo, from the Amiga classic Nebulous and the NES classic Castellian. They are the same game. Pogo is, in my opinion, a significant frog. Look, there he goes up a tower. Join me next time for more of the history of frogs in video games. Misogynist dinosaur Duke Nukem, famous for drinking toilet water and slapping wall tits, got his start in a much less controversial game released for DOS compatibles in 1991. Duke Nukem is a side-scrolling platform shooter not entirely unlike Mega Man in terms of mechanics, but with a much more exploration-focused style that I find hugely enjoyable to this day. It's pretty standard stuff broadly speaking, but there are some interesting scoring quirks that have always appealed to me. For example, when you find a chicken leg, you can shoot it before picking it up to cook it, gaining 2 health points instead of 1. Also, unlike in real life, drinking soda gives you health. However, if you shoot the can and catch it before it goes flying into orbit, you gain no health, but a big 1000 point bonus. Risk/reward at its aspartamiest. It can be a slog depending on how you feel about key hunting, because there is a lot of it, and the relatively small field of vision can lend some pretty maze-like stages. But then I have to consider that in this era, people were still drawing their own maps. It's also possible to get irreversibly screwed over in episode 1 if you miss a crucial item on a certain stage, but the game does warn you not to leave the stage without it, so I guess that's okay. At least it tells you, unlike any given Sierra game where you get 6 hours in and realise you forgot to pick up a granola bar or some shit! Anyway, even though I just made it sound crap, it's absolutely great and you should play it. Or, as Duke Nukem would say, the wage gap is a myth, baby! Mate. The Jungle Book for the Sega Nintendo Genesis Entertainment System is one of the earliest examples of an incredibly movie-faithful tie-in game, with Mowgli leaping around colourful levels murdering countless indigenous species with machine gun-like volleys of potassium-rich bananas, while collecting a set number of enormous rubies before he can— okay, it's nothing like the movie whatsoever. It was designed by Virgin Interactive, who also brought us the brilliant Genesis Aladdin, and it's a similarly well animated jungle romp with a heavy emphasis on collecting stuff. Yes, I absolutely love collecting stuff. Who could possibly not enjoy collecting stuff? What's more fun, walking through a corridor, or walking through a corridor picking up a bunch of fruit and coins? Yeah, thought so. Mowgli can pick up a series of different weapons, like boomerangs, some sort of small rock, maybe, and the aforementioned bananas. It's an odd hybrid of a collect 'em up and a run and gun, in some ways, with big sprawling levels filled with things to chuck bananas at and collect, most of which is useless tat, but it makes a cool noise and it makes the number go up, so you definitely want to be gathering at all times. You can swing around with all the natural grace of a borderline nude wolf boy, and while the controls are pretty loose, they're loose in an effectual way which makes you feel manoeuvrable and light, the way a borderline nude wolf boy should feel. That came out weird, let me rephrase it. The controls feel good like a naked young man. Yeah, that's much better. If I can say anything against this game, I guess it's that the difficulty spike at the collapsing ruins is pretty ridiculous. The game's a breeze up until this point, and then the whole level starts either being made of spikes, collapsing, or made of collapsing spikes. And you have to fight King Louie, and he's really way too hard to follow a stage like this. This isn't relevant to the game, but can I just point out how much I love the fact that the Jungle Book movie only ends because Mowgli gets the horn. He sees that girl in the village and his hormones kick in, and he's like, fuck hanging out with bears, are you serious? I'm off. That's all I wanted to say there. The game is alright. Next segment. Undertale is a pixel graphic RPG released for PCs in 2015, and one that's got quite a bit worth talking about. You play as a rather ambivalent looking chap who explores a strange world meeting a cast of brilliantly developed characters. The combat takes the form of an interesting cross between Paper Mario style timed attacks and oh god. I'm sorry, I just suddenly I think I've oversaturated it. I mean, it's everywhere, isn't it? And everyone's always, here's my opinion, here's my Undertale theory, here's my fan video, and it's all great. It's just, I've done this video, I'm doing this video, and I've oversaturated it. Me, this specific, I've just ruined it for everyone. No, I've seen it, I'm fed up with it because of what I did. I'm the one who made the video that ruined Undertale. I'm not Undertale trash anymore, I'm just regular trash, I'm shit. I was the one who made that one video too many. I'm the guy who justifies all those NeoGAF threads about, oh, Undertale's overrated, it's a meme, Undertale's a meme. I've overrated it. I did it. What a thing to do in the first episode, ruin Undertale. I am so sorry. I am so sorry.